All right, chapter 3. Let me share my screen with you. Share screen. Desktop. Share. Yeah. Here we go. Chapter 3, faith. All right, so who read through the chapter? Who did a review of the chapter before we get started? You can go ahead and come off mute.
I did.
Hey. All right. And I love when Jen comes through because she's got the special book. I'm gonna say that every time, Jen. Every single time.
Okay.
She's got that limited edition, that leather and the red leather and gold. All right. Welcome, Isis. How's it going?
Welcome. Amazing. Just got off a training call.
All right. So we are starting chapter 3 on faith, which is, honestly, it's really hard to distinguish between chapter 3 and chapter 4. It's kind of like they're kind of blended. Really, as we talked about before, and every time we start a chapter, is that all of these chapters are connected to each other. All of the chapters are principles, the 13 principles that he covers over the course of the book. So 3 and 4 are kind of going to go hand in hand. We're going to talk a lot about chapter 4 in chapter 3, and we're going to talk a lot about chapter 3 and chapter 4 next week. So it begins with faith. And here we are with here's our 13 principles. We did desire last week. That was chapter 2. And now we're doing absolute faith. So that means no matter what, you got to believe it. And as you can see, these are all of our chapters we're going to go through throughout the course of this book for book club. All right. So if you guys have your books open, the first section of this book is word for word just mind-blowing to me. Like, it really sets the stage for the information that we're going to take in. So I could not break this down. So I literally put the whole first section, boom, the whole first section right up here, and we're going to read it piece by piece. I will attempt through my nasally nose to read this first part for us. So what is faith? That's what it's telling us, this first section. What is faith? Faith is the head chemist of the mind. Oh man, I can barely see through our little thing. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind instantly picks up the vibration. So our thoughts, right? Instantly pick up the vibration, translate it into its spiritual equivalent, that's emotional, right? And transmits it to infinite intelligence, as in the case of prayer. So I have infinite intelligence here highlighted. Who wants to give me their definition of infinite intelligence? Anyone?
Can I?
Yeah, absolutely. Please. What was that?
I don't know. I think I might have heard someone say it, but I was thinking in infinite intelligence would be divine wisdom. Divine wisdom?
Yeah. Does anybody else have an answer to that? Because I really don't think there's a wrong answer. It's really all how we interpret it.
I was saying subconscious.
The subconsciousness? Okay. The subconsciousness is our link to infinite intelligence. So that's our piece of infinite intelligence. So that is also a correct answer. Does anybody else have an answer to this question?
God or spirit.
God or spirit? Absolutely. Absolutely. So infinite intelligence is God or spirit. In some definitions, God or spirit or infinite intelligence or source is also considered our imagination, which would be the subconscious. So we're all correct. We're all correct, and we are all God. As the great Mother Erica Badu, I got to reference her again, said, we are God. So call us by our names. Anyway, let's see. Transmits it to infinite intelligence, as in the case of prayer. Would anybody like to read the next paragraph? So starting with the emotions of.
Okay, I can do it.
And
It says the emotions of faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all the major. You guys, this pictures is covering the words. Can I move the pictures?
yeah, you can move the pictures. I had to move mine too.
Oh boy, I don't even know how to. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on. Okay, the emotions of faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all the major positive emotions. When the three are blended, they have the effect of coloring the vibration of thought in such a way that it instantly reaches the subconscious mind, where it is changed into spiritual equivalent, the only form that induces a response from the infinite intelligence.
Perfect. So basically what it's trying to tell us here, I think, is that when we use these emotions, faith, love, and sex together, when we use them together, it instantly reaches our subconscious mind. So whatever the message is that we're feeling with faith, love, and sex, whatever that message is, it instantly reaches our subconscious mind, and we believe that, right? And that is where it's changed into its spiritual equivalent of that emotion, right? And that is the only form that induces a response from infinite intelligence. So infinite intelligence, God's spirit, subconsciousness, our piece of source is telling us, hey, I hear you. Whatever that was, I heard you. Now what are we going to do? Okay, so we're going to go a little bit deeper into love and faith. All right, so who wants to read the third paragraph of that? Nobody coming off mute? Okay, I'll read it. So love and faith are psychic, related to the spiritual side of man. Sex is purely biological and related only to the physical. The mixing or blending of these emotions has the effect of opening a direct line of communication between the finite, or is able to end, the finite, small thinking mind of man and infinite intelligence. So, when we blend these things, when we color the vibration of thought in that way, we open a direct line of communication to infinite intelligence. This is faith. When we believe something so thoroughly that we speak it to God with our minds, and God says, or infinite intelligence, or source, or spirit, or whatever your definition of it is, and God said, so it shall be. And that is the power of faith. So here's our next slide. How do we develop faith? So this is where we start to leak over into autosuggestion, which is chapter 4. So faith is a state of mind which can be created. How, you ask? Because that, when I read that the first time, when I read through this book, and I was like, you can just make faith, or you can just make it. Okay, how? Right, so how? Affirmation, self-talk, auto-suggestion, which is our whole 4th chapter. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but ISIS is constantly using auto-suggestion. I am so happy and grateful, ellipses. I am so happy and grateful. How many times have we heard these words come out of ISIS' mouth, out of Jakar's mouth, out of Noble's mouth, out of any of our leaders' mouth? I am so happy and grateful. It's auto-suggestion. And so it shall be. They are happy and grateful for whatever it is. And we are happy and grateful because we're doing the same thing. We're on that. Hold on, let me let my dog out. He's whining at me. Okay. So through affirmations, you can convince your subconscious mind that you believe you will have what you have asked for. And the mind will act upon that belief. So what do we think that means? I thought that was a really interesting way to word that. The mind, right? So the mind doesn't have any hands or arms, right? The mind, how does the mind act upon a belief? What do we think about that?
I think that it acts upon the belief because the more you focus or concentrate on a thought, it starts in the spiritual realm, and then it expands out into reality to action. That's what I mean.
Absolutely. 100%, yes. So what I thought when I read this, when it says the mind will act upon the belief, I thought, okay, so when I believe something, like my brain looks for the things that will affirm my beliefs. My mind opens up and begins to think creatively about how I'm gonna get what I asked for or what I want, what I desire, right? I'm sorry, I'm so full of mucus, you guys, this is gross. But anyway, so the mind will act upon the belief, right? So we focus in, we begin only to see opportunities that are gonna give us what we have asked for. And that's universal intelligence. That's infinite intelligence being like, I see you. I see you. I'm just gonna drop this right here. Boop. So the mind will act upon the belief. I thought that was heavy. I thought that was like a beautiful way to like, that sentence makes you think, like, how does the mind act, right? So it says in the book, faith is a state of mind which you may develop at will after you have mastered the 13 principles, because it develops voluntarily through the mastery of these principles. So like, but in the last slide, we're talking about, okay, how do we make faith, right? You can make it, but when you have all of these things mastered, which we talked about in chapter 1, it took Bob Proctor 9 years to master all of this, or to believe that he'd mastered all of this, 9 years it took to completely master this. And at that point, it says in the book, at that point is when it develops voluntarily. Faith develops itself voluntarily. Like, you don't have to convince yourself anymore. You don't have to, you literally, like, you don't doubt yourself ever again. You literally don't doubt yourself. When you have mastered all of these things in this book, doubt is real hard to find. And doubt being the opposite of faith in this case. Let's see. Oh, yeah. The next slide is great. So we talked about last week with desire, right? That universal intelligence makes no distinction between negative and positive thought, right? Neither does faith. Faith makes no distinction between them, right? So all thoughts that one believes that have an emotion attached to them, right, immediately begin to translate themselves into their physical equivalent. All thoughts, negative or positive, it does not matter. Whatever thought that you believe and you have faith in, and faith, love, sex, right? So all thoughts that you believe that have emotion attached to them, even if, man, and I had a moment like this today, and I was literally listening to this chapter on audiobook, and like, I had to like stop myself for a minute, and I'm in traffic, I'm in 5 o'clock traffic, right? And I was like, oh, these a-holes on the road, blah, 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 blah. And then from that moment until I got home was nothing but a-holes on the road. I manifested a whole lot of a-holes on the road today. Don't be that guy. Don't be me. So all thoughts that one believes that has emotion attached to them immediately begin to translate themselves into their physical equivalent. Infinite intelligence hears you. Negative or positive. So this is a direct quote from the book. The subconscious mind translates into its physical equivalent a thought of impulse, or a thought impulse of a negative or destructive nature just as readily as it will act upon thought impulses of a positive or constructive nature. So again, faith makes no distinction whatsoever. And this is like belief, potential, action, results. This next part right here, this is, I think, the larger lesson in this, where faith makes no distinction. What you believe, what you have faith in, defines your potential. Why? Because your mind will act on your belief, and you will see your potential. You will see everything that you need in the world. When you believe something, you will see everything you need in the world to prove it, right? And when you believe a certain thing, you won't even be able to see anything that opposes that, right? Because your mind is acting upon your belief. That defines your potential. And what you believe you can do, what you have the potential to do, you will act on. And when you act on that, you get results. And then when you see those results, that ultimately changes your belief of what you can achieve, right? It's a circle, it's a spiral. Belief, potential, action, results. You believe something so thoroughly that it defines how big or how small your potential is. And your potential, however big or how small it is defined how big or how small your action is going to be. And your actions are going to give you results. No matter what, your actions are going to give you results. And whatever those results are going to affect how you believe and how you move, period. That's the spiral, and it goes up or down. And it makes no distinction. It goes up or down, and it's all on you. So it is essential for you to encourage the positive emotions as the dominating forces in your mind and eliminate negative emotions. Oh, I got to move y'all again. Hold on. Where my mouse at? Oops. All right. Hang on. Where were we at? Right here. All right. So yeah. So faith wants to live in positivity, in luxury. Faith will hold a place. It will continue to lease or mortgage from your mind. It will stay in your brain if you believe positive things. And those positive things, believe like you're creating a little luxury mansion in your brain for faith to live there. And every negative thought you have is like somebody throwing a vase on the ground or busting out your windows or something. Believe that your mind is like your luxury living room. You're chilling. If you and faith are just chilling in there, co-creating with source. Chilling on a fancy couch, right? And then somebody comes through and throws a negative thought through your window. You're like, man, come on. Gotta clean up. Gotta clean house. So we encourage positivity. We clean up in there. We gotta clean up in there. We eliminate negativity. All right, so let's play button. All right, so here's the self-confidence formula that is provided in the book, y'all. Like, you can screenshot this if you like, but it is in the book. This is actually word for word, pretty much, from the book. It's in the book. You have access to this. We got the PDF on the G12 website. So if you don't have a hard copy, there is a digital copy on the website for you so that you can have this formula. And I was listening to Noble today, and she was breaking down all these words. The words we use in spirituality are the very same words we use when we're talking about money, when we're talking about abundance, when we're talking about prosperity. So I actually typed formula wrong the first time, and I was like, wait, how do you spell that? Formula? Okay. Like, all right, self-confidence, formula, let's go. I'll read the first one because it's short and getting clogged up again. All right. First, here's the self-confidence formula, because self-confidence is faith. It's faith in yourself. That's what self-confidence is. So, the self-confidence formula. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward its attainment. Tell me that's not powerful, y'all. That sentence all by itself. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose. I know it. I know I do. Therefore, I demand of myself I'm not asking, okay? I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward its attainment. I demand. Beautiful. I love it. I do suggest writing these down. Write them, type them, speak them. Highly suggest. Who wants to read number 2 for me? Second, who wants to read that? Please, someone.
Okay.
You did.
It says, second, I realize the dominating thought of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into the physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of wait a minute.
Oops. That was
Oh, okay. Okay. Hold on. 30 minutes daily on the task. And think about the person I tend to become, therefore creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person.
Yeah. All right. So not only do we have an affirmation here, we also have an action plan. I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily, right? We have an action plan right there. I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of, I confused myself too, Jen. Of the task of thinking about the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Anybody who's read Outwitting the Devil, we call that person the other self. And we're doing that book. After this book, we're doing that book. So this will all, like, honestly, especially between these 2 books, you'll notice he repeats himself a lot. They just zipper on up together. I'll do the third one. Third, I know through the principle. I love that how he starts these. I know, I realize, okay? And I love that last one. I realize, I make real, right? Realize. I know, third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical mean of attaining that object, the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence, personal faith in self, self-confidence. So there we go, another affirmation followed by an action plan, in which we know from the desire chapter that we can't just think about it real hard. We got to think about it, we got to believe it, make the decision, and do it, right? So I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. So he's giving us affirmations right here. He's giving us, and I mean, chapter 4 is about autosuggestion and affirmations and self-talk. But this is an affirmation to create self-confidence, to create faith in yourself. So, like I said, chapter 3 and chapter 4 are going together hand in hand. I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life. And I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. I will never stop trying, the translation being, I will never stop trying until I have all the faith in myself that I need to get what I desire. Period. All right. And fifth, this is the long one. I'm going to power through it unless somebody wants to hop in and save me. Anyone want to hop in and save me?
Okay. Let's see, fifth. It says, I fully, yeah, okay. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. Is that right? Yeah, I can read. Okay. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and cooperation of other people. will induce others to see because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selflessness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I believe in them and myself.
Absolutely. I think that one is pretty heavy too. It's basically just saying what you pour into other people comes back to you. So if you base your position, if you base your movements on truth and justice and love and abundance and pouring those things into the people around you who are helping you realize your goals and their goals, that you know that they will benefit just as much as you, and you love that they serve you because you serve them, and it's a happy bond, right? It's a happy bond because we're all taking care of each other. This is G12. This is us right here. You know, we all pour positivity into each other because I know for a fact that when I joined G12, I was like quiet and shy, and I didn't really believe I could do this thing. But when I started plugging in, and actually talking to people in G12, I was like, no, I can do this. I can for sure do this. Like, hyping myself up. Let's go. Like, I love this. I believe this thoroughly. I've witnessed it in my own life. I've witnessed it in this group. So if this formula is used constructively, it will work to your benefit. Don't be Joseph Grant. He's a story in our book. So Joseph Grant, he is a case of mental suicide, suggested suicide. So in a Midwestern city, probably the one I live in a Midwestern city, a man by the name of Joseph Grant, a bank official, borrowed, quote unquote, a large sum of the bank's money without consent of the directors. He had lost the money through gambling. One afternoon, the bank examiner came and began to check the accounts. Grant left the bank, took a room in a local hotel, and when they found him 3 days later, he was lying in bed, wailing and moaning, repeating over and over these words: "My God, this will kill me. I cannot stand the disgrace." In a short time, he was dead. The doctors pronounced this case one of mental suicide. Don't be Joseph Grant. So he literally just self-talked himself to death. The shame killed him. The emotion, his faith in that. He said, "My God, this will kill me." He said it to the world. He affirmed it to infinite intelligence. He believed it would happen, and it happened. Rough. Don't be Joseph Grant. Dang, I really gotta move us again. I gotta move this. There we go. Move us. I gotta move us. Does anybody want to read that last quote for me down at the bottom? Because I moved our little pictures down to the bottom.
Yes, I got it this time. Every time I tried to hit the mute, it was too slow. This one right here, the law of autosuggestion.
Yes.
Okay. The law of autosuggestion will lift you up or pull you down, according to the way you set your sails. Ooh, of thought.
Hey.
Set sails, baby.
Set your sails. Let's go. Yeah, I had to throw that in there. Absolutely had to throw that in there. According to the way you set your sails, and Ice has been telling us, set your sails for success, set your sails for abundance. Let's go. Set your sails and affirm that to yourself. Believe it. Believe it. We're on faith this time. So, Napoleon Hill gave us another poem. I love it when he throws poems in there. Absolutely love it. Would anyone like to read the poem? It just affirms this whole chapter for us.
Yes, I want to read it.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For our the world we find,
For
success
out.
begins with
My bad.
okay. For
Out.
out
Yeah. For
the
out of
world.
the world we find.
Okay. Okay. Success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or late, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Wow.
Hallelujah. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I got, hold on. I got to get down for that one. That was deep. I got to get down. Anyway. So,
Yeah.
got to get all the way down for that one. But yeah, I love it when he throws these poems in here because, like, having a rhyme, you know, like that helps us when we're kids. It still helps. It still helps it to really like solidify the message, right? It's heavy. It's heavy. Success begins with the fellow's will. Boom. Yeah, I know you felt that when I heard you, Jakar. I know you felt it. Success begins with the fellow's will. It is all in the state of mind. That's where we've been. These first like 2-3 chapters has all been about where your mindset is at. And like Isis tells us, we got to set our sails for abundance. We got to set our sails of our minds and our actions, as we were saying. Your belief affects your potential. Your potential defines your actions, and your actions will show you the results, good or bad, and that will affect your beliefs. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It all begins in your mind. So if you think you are outclassed, you are. It's yeah. Oh, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Absolutely, 100%.
Can I add something?
Oh, absolutely. Please do.
Yeah. So whenever, well, based off of studying the book, when he says will, he's talking about focus. I think Riyadh also mentioned it on his call last night. And whenever I hear that, it just makes me think again of not necessarily in this book, but it's another book. Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So when you are focusing on something, you bring it from the heavens, which is the spiritual world, into the earth, which is the physical realm. So that was just a little tidbit. Every time I see that word will, I think about focus, and it makes me think about that particular line in the Bible.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for that addition. I got galaxy brain right now. Infinite intelligence is all in there, pressing keys and stuff. I love that. Thank you so much. Love it. Man, I love this group so much. So the rest of this chapter, I think that's really all that I.
What are they going to do now?
Can you mute your line, Nate, or were you going to add something?
As far as resting these guys.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. So did anybody else who was looking through this chapter, do you guys find anything in here that you really want to share with everybody? Because like I said, these are just the nuggets that I pulled. I say this every time, but these are just the nuggets that I pulled from the chapter. And I mean, it's a book club. It's not a what Leah thinks about this book. You know, I want to hear what everybody thinks about this book. So I mean, it's absolutely 100% certain that I'm not picking everything up. I can guarantee you that. So every contribution you guys makes is helping every single last one of everybody in here. So does anybody have anything they would like to add to our book club today?
Yeah. I want to add something else. This is my favorite chapter in the book. And I like the first line.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is the head chemist of the mind. So like if you think about all of the necessary like ingredients, or you think about like the main ingredient of, you know, cultivating your mindset is at the head of that. Cultivating your mindset is it's faith.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's like this is like I said, my favorite chapters. And like you said, the first couple of sentences is just sets the tone for the
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And that's when I was reading just this first page, this time when I was reviewing back through the chapter, it was like, y'all heard that song Panda by Designer? Y'all heard that song? You know how all in the beginning it's like hurrah, get, like that's what's happening here, like for this chapter. Like I was like, oh my gosh, he's just shots fired everywhere. Like this is it right here. Like he's telling us, like he's prepping us, like panda, faith. You know what I'm saying? that's how I felt anyway. I get like real geeked about this stuff, you guys. I don't know if you can tell, but but yeah. Actually, what time is it, y'all? What time is it? Yeah, see, I just blast through this stuff all the time. And I was like, I came with more slides. I thought I had pulled more from it. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that's all I have. And I like desperately need to blow my nose and like cough and stuff. So unless anyone else wants to join in and like add to the conversation, maybe bring in some tidbits or like maybe reaffirm some things. I'm going to do a quick preview next time in book club, chapter 4. Auto-suggestion. Next time in book club, we're going to be doing auto-suggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. So we're taking the faith that we have. There it is. I found it. We're not done yet. I found it. I found the piece I was missing. We're taking the faith that we have and we are turning it into action through autosuggestion. He has a really interesting line here in Faith where it says the mind can be essentially tricked into believing something that it doesn't currently believe through autosuggestion. So this is where we're creating faith, right? Affirmations. Through affirmations, you can convince your subconscious mind to believe. You can convince it. Like, and it's like the way he says it. He says it doesn't necessarily have to be true right now. But if you want it to be true, put it in your affirmations so that it will become part of your self-confidence, your personal faith. And I'll tell you guys what, when I'm writing my affirmations, I can tell the ones that I don't believe all the way. The ones that I don't really, because it's hard. Y'all, it's hard to write those. And it's even harder to say it to me. I get choked up for nothing. I start stuttering for nothing. When I'm writing it down, I mess up words. And it's my body, my mind, my ego just fighting. Like, you don't believe that, but I want to believe it. I'm creating this faith. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important, y'all. That's why it's so important. And like, I feel it every time I write my affirmations, I say my affirmations, those ones that are hard for me, those ones that I where I still have doubt, I get stuck, literally physically stuck. Like when I'm saying my affirmations to myself in the mirror, it's hard to look at myself. But you get pushed through it. Affirmations every day, self-talk. I'm like creating that faith. Got to create that faith. So that was just a little admission for myself. I don't know if anybody else like feels that way or gets that way, but yeah. And I'm gonna save it for next time. I'm gonna share my affirmations with you guys next time. And if you guys have affirmations that you present day use, because it says in our success formula that, hang on, let me let the dog back in. Come on, little baby. It says, in our success formula, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward the attainment of self-confidence. So you have to do it, y'all. You got to do it. Whatever affirmations and however it works on your time schedule, just make sure you put in that time in, you know? I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of the thing or person, here's that typo again, I intend to become. You know what? That was probably one of my things, you guys. That was probably one of my things right there. One of my personal stick-ups. So I'm going to read it out of the book. Let's see. I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. There it is. Out of the book, not from my words, because my words are flawed, clearly. Like, that's one of my personal stick-ups. So this right here is evidence right here of why affirmations are so important. You got to catch yourself and, like, notice how you feel when you're doing these things. Like, notice, like, and make sure that, like, those are the things. You got to, like, say those things over and over again. Like, in my mantras, I will have faith and I will not doubt. I will have faith and I will not doubt. I will have faith and I will not doubt. It's only written one time in my book, y'all. But I just have to keep saying it. I will have faith and I will not doubt. So those ones that you get stuck on right there, keep pushing those. That's just my personal tidbit for y'all. Does anybody else want to, any last words before we cut out of here?
Hi, it's me again.
Hi.
The affirmations, I have some written down, and it's like, okay, it's just me, because some of them it's like, I believe it, but it's like, I don't say them all the time. So I didn't know that was, I didn't know that was just me. Oh, so thanks for that.
No problem. It's not just you, Jen. Promise. Promise. But hey, we're working every day affirmations. Faith. We're building faith. We're creating faith. We have a formula for creating faith right here. Isis, did you want to say something?
I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you so very much for taking the time and energy to pour your love into these slides. You know, it takes time to sit down and write this stuff up and put it on the slide. So just to be able to be on here and just be able to see your growth in such a short amount of time, just like that quantum leap, is definitely beautiful to watch. And you're definitely a valuable asset to G12. And I really just appreciate you.
I might actually cry a little. That'll help stuff come out. So thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Like, I felt that, like, all up in here. Thank you so much. So, if anybody else doesn't have anything to add, I'm gonna give it like a 15 count maybe. If anybody else doesn't have anything to add, that's gonna be it for my time, and we're gonna cover affirmations, self-talk, and auto-suggestion next week.
Thank you so much, Liz. It was amazing.
You're so welcome. You're also welcome.
Thank you.
All right, y'all.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, y'all. Y'all have no idea. I love this. I love being part of this group. Thank you. Thank you. Later on, y'all.